It's a Greek podcast. Of course, we're at New York Prime. Where else would we be? Always sponsored by Brayman Motor Cars, Jupiter and West Palm. Your next new car, that should be Brayman. You'll be a great experience and happy. Buying a car is one of the most expensive things you ever do. Go with Brayman Motor Cars. Special guest today, but he's really not special anymore. It's part of the routine. Good afternoon, Mr. Larry. Thank you for showing up.
Gee, thank you. Good to be back. Happy New Year.
Dressed very nice, this guy. Always looks like a $100 bill. Almost cost him his job once years ago because he was still well dressed. Unbelievable.
I enjoyed a nice hiatus from the show.
Yes,
Good to be back.
He's back. He's back. 2020. We got a lot to talk about in the Greek podcast. And we're going to start off with our stars getting whacked today because my dentist called me, I believed, on Wednesday and told me I had an appointment for Thursday. So I said, okay. I talked about it on Penthouse. So I go there, and my dentist opens up very early. It's the same dentist as Mo and Sally go. So I go at 7 o'clock.
Royalty.
Yeah. And a lot of times people hear 7 o'clock. It sounds like shenanigans. I was living with a girl years ago, and she thought like I was mooing something, 7 o'clock in the morning. So I go there, but they said it was 8 o'clock. I'm there about 25 after 7. I get there. I'm doing a couple emails sitting there. Finally, the receptionist looks at me. She goes, Greek, what are you doing here? I said, I got an appointment. Oh, what do you think I'm doing here? I'm on a job? Of course. I said, I got an appointment. She goes, you're not on the books today. I go, I'm not on the books. I go, I had an 8 o'clock. You guys called me. She goes, we didn't call you. I started thinking, this is it.
This is bizarre.
This is a setup. They're going to whack me in the parking lot. They know where I'm going to be at. My God. Technology today. I definitely know somebody called me and said I had an 8 o'clock.
At the dentist.
At the dentist.
And they knew nothing about it.
They knew nothing about it. I'm sitting there for about 45 minutes. You don't say to the person when they sit down, hey, good morning, how you doing?
Do you have a toothache? What is it, cleaning? Or
Yeah, nothing. She says nothing. It's like a Larry David shot. Like 5 days, she looks at me, she goes, what are you doing? I said, I got an appointment.
I'd be very leery about getting in the vehicle.
I was.
After the show.
I asked her to start my car. She said, can you start your car? So much going on. We got Championship Sunday in the NFL. 2 big games. We got a lot going on with baseball. The Heat, Super Bowl's coming here.
A lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff. Larry's going to give his opinion on everything. First, we're going to talk about the games last week. What were you surprised about? What were you not?
Tell you something. The 49ers, just a juggernaut.
Yeah.
They came out explosive. Tennessee, obviously, that's the Cinderella story right now.
Tannehill might come back. He called Stephen Ross. Can I get my parking spot?
Could you imagine Tannehill coming back to South Florida with the Super Bowl?
Tennessee Titans.
Unreal. And who could script it out?
Nobody.
It's had a great season. And I'll tell you something. It's going to be a very good game this week going into Arrowhead.
Now, would you fire O'Brien last week when he's up 24-0?
I didn't like it. It was one of those game changers. The momentum changed right away. They're up. The commentators said it was the right thing to do. It just wasn't executed. I wouldn't have done it.
You're on your own 31.
Nah.
Why? You're up 24-0.
You're up 24-0.
Great bread here.
The momentum changed. You opened up the door now. And bad move. There's aggressive and sometimes stupidity.
Yeah. 51-7. Chiefs outscored them.
Yeah.
Now, you talked about the Vikings. We saw the Niners beat them. Aaron Rodgers beats Russell Wilson. And the Packers lost to them this year really bad, 38-7. And also the Titans beat the Chiefs. They beat the Chiefs last 4 times. Can Aaron Rodgers have any chance, you think, going into San Fran?
He's a winner. Packers are playing well. But I'll tell you something. That juggernaut, you got Garoppolo, who's been amazing. Bosa, the defense is great.
Yeah.
Very, very well coached by Shanahan. It's an amazing season, and I think the Niners are going to be very, very tough to beat at home.
So you say Niners. Now, I got a prop bet. I told you about it. I have the Niners. No, I have the Packers and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
10.5 to 1. $300 on it. A buddy of mine said he'll buy it for $750. I got to do it before Sunday. I like to do it Monday, but I got to do it before Sunday. Pays $3,300. Would you bail and make the quick nickel?
It's the sentimental bet, a repeat of Super Bowl I, Green Bay, Kansas City. I just don't see it happening. So
No.
I would relinquish that ticket.
You would?
Yeah.
Wow. No
Get
faith. No faith. No faith. Now, what about, can the Chiefs stop Henry?
Going to be very tough. Arrowhead, very tough place to play. I just like Tennessee coming in. Henry's played great. You got Tannehill. We talked about that.
Beat him 4 times in a row.
Chiefs
Sometimes the team
historically
have their
in the
numbers.
playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, they came back last week. You know,
Yeah.
got up to as bad of a start as you could imagine. You thought, okay, Andy Reid again. Somehow they find yet another way to lose. They're down 24-0.
I love
come
the
back.
fat man.
But you know, they could break through. But I just think that coaching, the offense, all the weapons on Tennessee. They're the Cinderella story.
And so you think Tennessee not only covers, but wins?
I think they're going to win the game.
Wow. It's unbelievable. And when I say Andy
Certainly
Reid,
with
fat
the
man,
points.
I don't mean no disrespect. I just love Andy Reid. If I ever met Andy, I'm going to say I made tons of money on you preseason.
Likeable guy.
No.
But, it didn't end good in Philadelphia. He's done a great job in Kansas City. But
He had a great run in Philly, though. I mean,
did.
they were good for
He
10,
did.
12 years.
He had some
They're always
off-the-field
good.
issues, family, but, good coach. But Arrowhead at home, you think it's a no-brainer, but
Yeah.
they've lost before.
No, damn, it's going to be a good game. The Packers-Niners going to be a good game. Both teams
good.
7.5, which is odd. The over/under with the Chiefs 53, with the Packers 46. What do you see? Any game higher scoring?
You just don't know with the Niners.
So you would go right now. You would take Tennessee with the points and the Niners,
I would lay the points in.
but take Tennessee.
Yes.
All right, Larry. Here we go.
7.5 over under 45. I would take the points and the over.
All right, that's where Larry's going. I'm going to tell you my selection at the end. I'm going to probably go the other way, to be honest with you, because I got my prop bet. I don't like to bet against myself. And then if I lose everything, it's great because it's good to bitch about a lot. It's
good.
You get screwed. You got to be getting screwed. You're like, oh my God, I had this over, I had that over.
What goes through the mind in June, July? You're in some sports book and just arbitrarily one of your myriad of bets.
Yeah.
Green Bay and Kansas City.
Well, it was bizarre. I mean, I make a lot of those bets. 9 out of 10 of them lose. I bet probably 95.
When they win, you win big.
Yeah, I bet McCaffrey. He was 70-1 to win the MVP.
Yeah.
Now he's not going to win it. Probably Lamar Jackson, but it was a shot. I thought he was going to have a good year, second year. There's been some long shots I've had. You know me at the track. I only bet long shots. I don't bet anything. I had this guy one time say to me, he's a professional handicapper. And he took me to Gulfstream, and he said, I watch you, and I just think the way you bet is very reckless. And it was funny because I was in a little bit of quiet period. My dad passed away, and I didn't go out for about 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. So he called me up on a Sunday, and I said, well, maybe this is the first time I can go out, because I went to the track, and my dad, we used to go once in a while. My dad never would bet. $2. Famous story, my dad, we were in L.A. about a track, and he goes, give me the 6th. I want $2 across the board. And that was a lot for my dad to bet. So the guy says, 15 minutes to post. And he goes, I got it. It's 10 minutes to post. And he goes, I want the 6, $2 across the board. I said, I got it. Okay. 2 minutes to post. He goes, gee, I'm going to miss the race. I really like the 6. I take out a ticket. I had the 6, huge. I go, I got the 6.
I got the 6.
He said, fine. He looked at it. He goes, oh, my God. Story goes, the 6 won. We all won. No, that didn't happen. 6 came in 9th. We lost. So anyway, I go with this guy, and he's a grind-it-out guy, and he's telling me, you got to grind it out. If you stick with me, we will make money. I said, okay.
Oh.
So I'm with him 4 races. We're up $47, $37. But again, 4 races at the track is 20 minutes a clip, 20 minutes a...
It's a long day.
2.5 hours. I'm at $47.
You're getting the itch.
I lose scratch-offs. I
You
lose
got to go to
200.
simulcast.
I forget it. So anyway, it's the 5th race. I bet this horse 75-1. I said, dude, I'm going Greek style. I'm going this. He takes out the program. This horse is not won. You are just doing everything we did. And he got very offended because he felt I was wasting his time as insulting him. He's a professional handicapper. And he does win.
He does.
But he grinds it out. I said, dude, forget it.
The grinder.
Yeah. The next scene you see, if it was a movie, he throws his program up in the air. The horse wins. Pays $165
Wow.
on a $2 bet. I look at him, I say, I ain't grinding it out anymore, buddy.
78-1.
Oh, it was great. It's great. A great story.
And I will join you this Saturday.
That's
I'm
right.
going to head down, make an appearance at Gulfstream.
Nice.
I like the Grays. Out of respect to my buddy, trainer Frankie Rapolo from New Jersey. The Grays.
Every time there's a great horse.
I bet the Gray horse.
So do I. I like him too.
I'm about 2-26.
Nice.
Over the past.
That's not bad. 2-26. Better than 0-28. It is the Greed Podcast. We're live at New York Prime. Always stop here for any occasion, or if you just want to get together with friends. Great place to give a gift card. Sponsored by Brayman Motor Cars, West Palm Beach and Jupiter. We're talking football. We're going to be talking about the Oscars. No host. Is that a surprise? Is that done, the host? The radio industry, how it's changing. New Jersey sports betting 2019 took in $4.58 billion. I mean, that number's insane.
We've touched on this in the past, and it's just going to grow. The number will just increase.
Will Florida get it?
Yes.
You think so?
I hope so. I hope so, and I think so. Yeah.
You think so?
Yes.
You know, any moves with the governor? Governor DeSantis.
That would be a great 20. Governor Ron.
Yeah.
That would be a nice.
I mean, the money's
nice
there.
gift.
I mean, New Jersey. I mean, Florida's got 20 million residents. Hopefully it happens. Are you surprised about the baseball scandal? What's happened? And
Well,
you're
I'll
a
tell you
baseball
something.
guy. You go to Wrigley.
I go up to Wrigley every summer.
You jump on a plane.
I jump up. It's easier for me to fly to Wrigley Field than to go down to Marlins Park. And living here
Do
in
it,
South
man.
Florida. But I'll tell you something. They had to act very quick with this. AJ Hinch, and you blow the general manager out, and then this afternoon, Carlos Beltran on the Mets. You thought initially he was safe because he was a player on those Astro teams, but now elevated, managing the Mets, hired November 1st, out. And, you look at Acora, out with the Red Sox, Carlos Beltran now. Their careers are finished.
Carlos Beltran, I think this will hurt him, and he won't get in the Hall of Fame because of this.
It certainly could. AJ Hinch will get a front office job, within the next year or two. But you look at the two managers now.
They're done. But do you think Carlos Beltran doesn't get in the Hall of Fame because of this? Because people might be saying, "Oh, that's why he was always doing so good. He was getting on the sides."
Again, now you're seeing the comparisons with Pete Rose again.
Pete Rose
as a player, does that differentiate? But here, clearly and flagrantly cheating. What about the Yankees or the opponents that lost in these World Series games, the series, and you're taking back the money that was lost, the prestige.
Yeah.
Careers are defined by championships.
Yeah.
So
Now, do you think the penalty was enough? Major League Baseball did.
they came out strong to try to discourage it, and football needs to start to step up, and some of the other
Well,
sports.
football
But at
doesn't have
this-
any problem with integrity.
At this point, it was very quick and very swift in terms of the actions from Manfred and company. But
How about the players? Because the players are the one who really benefit. They make more money than the managers. You know what? They can have incentives to win World Series.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think some of them should be suspended?
I think it's peeling back the onion. It's just going to get more and more and more in terms of this investigation. And I agree with you. Yes.
I mean, because they benefited.
They
A lot of
certainly
these
did.
guys.
They
It wasn't,
certainly did.
And the way they did it, they had the cameras in center field, but then they went old school and they had somebody hitting on a drum. I mean, it was bizarre.
It's going to be very.
In 2018, who would think this?
How do you do it? You go back not that long ago in a baseball dugout. You had a couple phones that are connected just to the bullpen, and that's it. Maybe with the Yankees, Steinbrenner reaching down to Billy Martin had a hotline. But now the technology in there, it looks like your man cave.
Yeah.
You got all these flat screens, and
It's crazy.
How do you control it now?
And they said they had something going on with the Apple Watches.
Yeah,
they
that
were,
was
they were,
correct.
Yeah, they were giving him the signals on the Apple Watches. I mean, it's bizarre. And the other thing too is this is very much an in-depth plan.
Yeah.
This isn't something that was walked out on the dugout like, hey, I mean, they sat down, precisely figured this out. We got a camera out there. We got the Apple phones, the drum. I don't know what the hell they needed a drum for. I mean, they said they tried so many things, the drums would work.
But Game 7 for the Mets against the Cardinals, he couldn't get the call. He struck out to end that playoff series with the Mets.
It's crazy.
2005, 6. So,
Now,
I
people
don't
are
know,
saying they're not shocked. It goes on for years, but I think at this level, it doesn't go on. Where, you got cameras and TVs and watches and the other thing, too, like everything else in life, it must have worked because they kept doing it.
Clearly.
I mean, that's why they did it.
Clearly.
You're not going to rob a bank and take singles. I mean, that's the bottom line.
No. It's hopefully a deterrent of some kind now, but with the technology, the way it is, you can set up cameras, and it's so sophisticated.
I mean, how about practices like with sports, football? You get drones to fly over stadiums. I mean, you could have that.
It's another new asset.
I mean, you never had that before.
Sky's the limit now.
Vince Lombardi be turned over in his grave. It is the Greek. It is Larry. We're doing the Greek podcast, New York Prime, always sponsored by Brayman Motor Cars, West Palm Beach, and Jupiter. Your next new car, make sure you go to Brayman. It'll be a great experience. And buying a car is one of the biggest things you do in your life. Take it from your boy. Go to Brayman Motor Cars. We'll be back, talk about the Oscars, and talk about the NFL in Miami, Super Bowl 54. What a party. Peace.
What's the best kept secret in new cars? It's that you can get a brand new Mini at Brayman Mini Palm Beach for under $21,000. Plus, free membership to the Fun Mini Club of South Florida and Club Brayman social events.
It is a Greek podcast. We're at New York Prime. Always here, baby. Stop by for anything, any occasion, or just a Thursday night, Friday night, have a dinner with good friends. This is where I got married. This is where I do a Greek podcast. So it's a special place.
What was that over under?
I actually beat the over under.
In year what, 2 now?
Year 2.5, beat the over under, and that wedding was a fundraiser. We came up on a plus size of that. Larry's joining me. He was at the wedding. Nice of him to stop by.
Thank you.
Brandon Motor Cars always sponsors us. Jupiter and West Palm. Make sure your next new car, you get there.
And used.
Very
good pre-owned.
Yeah. Let me ask you about the Oscars now. No host again. Are you a big fan of that?
I love it. I would just bring Ricky Gervais in to host every one of these award shows.
He did the Golden Globes.
Those stunned hypocrites in that audience is classic. People just watching it stunned at first and then just hysterical. So I'd bring him in every show.
He goes, I don't care.
Just put him there, put him on tour. It was great. But they're going to go without it. I don't think people want the job.
No. Well, I think, you know why you don't want it? Because you get so much critique after it. And it hurts you.
It's a 6-hour show. You go back in the past, you had a Johnny Carson, even a Billy Crystal.
Yeah.
Entertaining, fun, provocative, entertaining.
Well, they could also do more of an improv thing, just say what they want. I think they'd show these guys, and the show's too long. They should just do actor, actress, best picture, director, and supporting.
Yeah.
And nobody cares about any of this stuff. No offense, they just don't care.
Do the awards and do another Jeopardy contest.
Yeah, and play some songs, and you can bet on it at home. You know, play like a game. Hey, bet on this, you pay out. Get Burger King to sponsor it.
There you go.
Some stuff like that. Yeah, but no host. I mean, I think it's a scene. Now, are you a fan or are you a customer of Netflix?
I am.
Now, being a fan, I didn't even know I had Netflix for like a year. Said to the wife on that we should get Netflix. She goes, we've had it for 2 years. Just like the kids. I said, who are these kids?
You have a smart TV.
Yeah. So are you a fan of it and do you enjoy it?
I don't use it as much as I should.
Yeah.
There's a myriad of shows and programming on it, but I got it and, I enjoy it.
They're talking, did you see The Irishman on it? Or you go to movies?
Yeah.
All right, they're talking about...
Talk about going on and on and on.
Oh, my God.
3.5 hours.
That was brutal. That was longer than some of my relationships.
You love De Niro, you love Pesci, Harvey Keitel, the ensemble, but I got to tell you, I broke it up over the course of a couple nights.
You thought it was long?
It
was a little long.
Yeah, I still worth seeing, but very long.
Yeah, I thought it was long. I saw Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler. I thought that was okay. I think the expectations were so long. I mean, so much for me. So that's
a lot of hype.
Yeah, a lot of hype for that. Now Netflix is obviously getting bigger and bigger, but there's a documentary series on about Hernandez for the Gators. Mm-hmm. That's supposed to be unbelievable. Johnny C, my boyfriend in Penthouse, he watched it. He said it was great. A couple of my friends will watch it. I want to check that out.
Yeah, the documentary is always very, very well done, and that was just from University of Florida, the Patriots, and that the way that whole scenario played out.
Oh, yeah, it was crazy. Crazy guy. Lived a double life for years.
Yeah.
Double life.
Yeah. Bad guy.
You got the Super Bowl coming to Miami. It seems like everybody loves it in Miami. Next year it's in Tampa, the Super Bowl 54. What do you think the lure is of Miami? Just the weather, the action?
What have we hosted now? Probably 10 of them?
10 or 11? Out of 54.
I've been to several of them. Most recently, I guess it was the Saints' victory over the Colts.
Yeah.
But South Florida, middle of February, you got horrible weather throughout the country. In most places here, beautiful. Brand new, renovated Hard Rock Stadium.
It looks
outstanding. You got the lure of South Beach and all the other accoutrements down here. So,
yeah, they got a new thing now, like a ski thing going around the stadium that they could take you around and show, which is going to be different. February 2nd, I mean, the weekend, American Airlines, they got Guns N' Roses, DJ Khaled, Maroon 5, tons of parties. I know my buddy from the Meat Lovers Club, Evans, got a big party for doing with March of Dimes. There's going to be parties galore. Maxim party.
Oh, that's a great
Every ex-ball player's got one. Ray Lewis, Javon Curse. I mean, so it's going to be unbelievable. We'll be packed. Everybody is saying the one thing about it is that Miami, not like New York, you don't have that transportation to get around. And they really expect the traffic to be very bad.
It's bad regardless, but most people will probably stay, on the beach, Fontainebleau, maybe as far north Diplomat, down South Beach, and come up for the games. But a lot of the events downtown Miami, Brickell was exploded now over the past few years.
Yeah, our buddy Ryan from Prime Cigars got a place down there. Yeah. We're doing a live show there for the Penthouse, January 30th. So we're excited about that. We're doing Miller's Ale House. And we're probably doing Hard Rock Casino that Friday, the 3 days.
Beautiful.
We're going to be at Gulfstream tomorrow live for Tito's Raw Bar. Saturday. So that'll be fun. You know, you said you might stop by at the Winter Circle. Great suite food there, by the way. And Clemson ends up beating LSU. Ends up beating Clemson. The whole situation with Odell was pretty unique, where Odell gave supposedly money. LSU said it was counterfeit. Joe Burrow comes out and says, no, it was real money. So that was a little bit interesting. And Odell just touching on it.
But also, he apparently
swatted
a
security guard.
Policeman or a security guard?
They said there's some kind of
warrant out for him?
No warrant out for him. That's going to go away. That's nothing.
So
but it's Odell being Odell.
But you saw him on the sideline. He was hanging out. I love the picture, the photo with the Burrow smoking the cigar afterwards.
Yeah.
But what a cool operator. What a great kid.
Yeah.
An amazing season. They beat, 7, 8 top 10 teams
yes, he did.
throughout the season.
60 touchdowns.
My Florida Gators.
Yeah. Now your Gators are 14-1 next year. Is Trace coming back? Yeah, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a shot next year?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think next year they can beat Georgia.
You got to beat Georgia, as LSU had to get through and beat Alabama.
Yeah.
For us, the last few years has been Georgia. Nothing to be ashamed of. We lose to Georgia and LSU this year, the SEC champions, and ultimately the national champion. But I'll tell you something. You feel good about that whole LSU story.
Yeah.
Not to take anything away from Clemson. Very well coached again. They've been in, 3 of the last 4 national championships?
Yeah.
Or, they've won 2 of the 4. They'll be back, and they're preseason favorite already.
Let me ask you about a couple other things with that. The Dolphins have the 5th pick. Would you trade 2 first-round picks to go to number 1 with Cincinnati to get Joe Burrow? Is he that special?
I would. I think he's an NFL-style quarterback.
You do?
Phenomenal season. He's got all the skills, and that's a game changer.
Yeah.
You bring a guy like that in. I would. You've got a ton of picks now. I certainly would do whatever they can to get him.
Really?
And, the Bengals need a quarterback now. So I don't know how.
Well, they got Andy Dalton. He's going to go someplace.
He's 30, 31. So
yeah, he'll go
make
someplace.
some changes. They haven't won.
There's going to be a lot of quarterbacks free. Mariota's going to be free with Tennessee because they'll probably end up signing Tannehill. Obviously,
that's an amazing story.
Yeah.
To come in there after the past year, railroaded out of town.
And then Bridgewater. There's a couple of receivers.
Teddy Bridgewater.
The Saints with Breeze. A lot of stories. But Jimmy G and the Niners seem to be the favorite. We're a Greek podcast. Always appreciate you watching and listening. We talk about sports, but other things too. Restaurants, strip clubs, whatever you want, gambling.
It's a great
show.
show.
Your picks are, finally, before we head out and have a steak here, is you like Tennessee?
The sexy, romantic pick would be the Chiefs and Packers repeat of Super Bowl I, but I think it's going to be Tennessee, San Francisco.
And you're calling for Tennessee and a win. They're getting 7.5. Larry likes them.
It's very, very tough matchups.
Yeah.
So I'm going this week, and certainly over the Chiefs, I'm taking the Titans.
Wow, that's a big thing. I'm going to go the other way, guys. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I'm going to lay the 7.5. I think Boy Wonder comes out with his cape on. And I'm going to go with the Packers, the Green Bay Packers, Lombardi. Everybody's grabbing out there.
Lombardi.
Remember those videos? And maybe the ghost will help them. It's going to be a tough spot. I'm betting with my heart, to be honest with you. I do think the Niners have a great team. But I think I'm going to go with Aaron. Maybe he has a big day and A-Rod shows up. It's a Greek podcast. Larry's my special guest. Not so special anymore. Now part of the rotation. Always sponsored by New York Prime.
Nice.
Brayman Motor Cars, West Palm Beach, and Jupiter. Stop in there today for a new car or pre-owned. Nothing better than get a new car and just that feeling. Driving out, you feel like a winner. Thank you, Brayman Motor Cars, for sponsoring it. Larry, thank you for stopping by.
I thank you.
Stay coming on the way. It is New York Prime. Don't forget Real Radio, Rover in the morning, Penthouse. Then you got the Love Doctors and the Locker Room. We'll be live tomorrow back on the radio. Make sure you listen. And you can text the shows now and get involved. I can't give you the text number because I can't remember it.
The dentist has it.
Yeah, but that's great. Peace.
What's the best kept secret in new cars? It's that you can get a brand new Mini at Brayman Mini Palm Beach for under $21,000. Plus, free membership to the fun Mini Club of South Florida and Club Raymond social events.